It's cool. It's cool. Wow. All right. Is everybody having a good time so far? Is everybody drinking? Is everybody getting some drinks? Everybody's drinking a little bit. No, what? Not one person is drinking? Is that it? You guys can all try my drink of choice, which is Mike's Hard Lemonade. So I'm pretty hardcore, is what I'm saying. Yeah, Mike's is so girly, like, I've had 11 so far tonight, you can't even tell. So, actually, I think it's probably like that one exception to the over the limit under arrest thing. I think the cops will let me go drinking Mike's all night. So, and let's give one quick round of applause to our wait staff who are helping out with everyone. All right. Let's keep that applause going. Our next comedian is a local guy. He's been started out on the scene recently. It's Steve Yesconis. Let's bring a big hand, all right?
Good evening, how you guys? All right. Welcome to my little portion of the show. And I hope you guys have a good time. And I hope you laugh, because I mean, that's why you pay the money to come here, right? But really, I'm here to deliver a message to you guys tonight. I want you to take this with you and share this wherever you go, and share this with everybody. Now, before I can get into this, I do have some housekeeping to do. And the first thing is a little disclaimer here.
It's little. It's little.
You can't tell I'm nervous, can you? And this basically states that all the women in my act, I've changed their names to the home city to protect the guilty. I also like to thank some of my friends and coworkers who came out here and cheered me on tonight. I am 46 years old. I am a single guy. And I know you guys are out there thinking, well, look at you, Steve. You're fat, you're old, you're gray. Of course you're single, right? Or you could be like my youngest son who's watching me via the webinar tonight. And he said to me in a conversation one night, he said, well, you know, Dad, minus 20 pounds, and some just for men, you could probably get yourself a date. He's the actual comedian in the family, and actually he was on after me, I think, with his act, My Fat Old Dad, and dating. In any case, I'm single because I choose to be, and it's not because I can't find a date. And so some time ago, I decided to try an online dating service. And I don't know if any of you have ever done this before, but it's like a college exam to sign up for these things. It takes like 4 hours. And if you answer all the questions right, it's like a brain aneurysm going off in your head, right? And then you finally get your account and you get inundated by all these women, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a cool thing, but you got to kind of sort through all this. And I got through it all, and I had my very first date, and her name is Miss Harrisburg, disclaimer. And I met Miss Harrisburg over at Damon's up in Harrisburg. And we got a table and we were having a really good time. And all of a sudden, like an hour into this date, she stops and she says to me, and I quote, "But right now in life, I'm concentrating on my walk with God." Okay? Now, do you ever hear that feeling that comes over you when your body temperature goes from 98.6 to 212 in like a millisecond? Because you realize something is wrong? Well, I had this come over me, and actually in my dating career, I've experienced it so many times, I've named it a meltdown. And I don't recall much more from the rest of this date because I was in such shock from this God thing. But at one point in time, I do remember her saying about how she goes home every night and she gets on dailyscripture.com. or .org, well no, .God. And actually the way she was talking, I think God was stopping by at her house every night actually delivering the messages. Now, don't get me wrong, I am a religious guy. I was born and raised Catholic, I went to Catholic school, I believe in God, I say my prayers, I'm thankful for all I have. But she's a few chapters ahead of the Bible than I am, and it really didn't work so well. So, my very next date was a week later, and it was at Doc Holloway's in Cumberland. And she was from York, and if she's here tonight, I really could not identify her, and you'll understand why in a second. But from the time she created her profile until she walked through the door at the restaurant, like 20 to 30 years have elapsed. She looks nothing like her picture, and it was a very difficult date. And a couple days later, there was Miss Hummelstown, and I met Miss Hummelstown at the Starbucks over in the outlets of Hershey. And we got a table and we sat down and things were going good. And I was like, this is good, you know? And like the religious thing, we got through her picture. She looked like her profile. I thought, this is good, right? And all of a sudden she stops talking. She looks down at her watch and she says, our hour and a half is about up. Of course, a meltdown came over me, and she went on for the next 10 or 15 minutes explaining all these rules of dating, like you meet in a public place, and you explain, describe the person you're going to be with, and all this stuff, and the whole time I was like, there's some asshole sat down and wrote this stuff up. I mean, I have enough stress in dating. I don't need a rule book out here floating around somewhere that I got to read. So needless to say, that didn't go too well either. And then there was Miss Ephrata, and of course my profile's up to date, and she recognized me right away. She came up and said, Steve! And I turned around, and the first thing I noticed was this big, thick, long, gray nose hair sticking out of her nose. Now, it was really hard concentrating on anything but the nose hair, and I'm not lying to you people, this is the kind of stuff that I deal with when I'm dating. Now, luckily, at one point in the date, it did disappear because I think that she took a bite of her crab cake sandwich. She got a hold of it and filler. But of all the dates I've been on, this is really one I wanted to use an hour and a half roll on, but I knew I'd abuse it. I'd be like, hey, 30 minutes is done, we're done, all right? And then, well, there was Miss Mechanicsburg who wouldn't shut up. And then Miss Paul Myra, who after one date felt that all of my free time belonged to her. And I'm very frustrated in dating. And really, here's the kind of luck that I have. A friend of mine and I, his name is Matt, we went to Duke's one night. He hones in on somebody. He walks up. She introduces herself as Sarah, okay? 5 minutes into this conversation, my buddy Matt says, so Susan, what do you do? Matt and I looked at each other, or Sarah and I looked at each other, we both looked at Matt and we both said, Sarah, he's still with her. Me, I don't even meet Miss Carlisle, but I post a 1-minute clip of my act on my Facebook page. She sends me a nasty email the next day that says, you know, Steve, I was going to go out with you, but I decided I don't want to be material for your act. I don't even go out with them and they're dumping me. So you can see my frustration. In any case, it really wasn't until I met this next woman where things finally came into perspective for me, and I'm not so intense about dating. And she was from Allentown. Now, I know you're thinking, Christ, Steve, Allentown, are you desperate? Yes. I thought if I got out of the area, maybe things would work a little better for me. So some Saturday afternoon, I drive up to Lehigh Valley Mall. I meet her at this really nice restaurant. It was a great time. It was like 2 hours. We're laughing, talking, having a good time, drinking water, laughing, talking, making asses out of ourselves, hogging at the table. The waitstaff's getting pissed. So I finally paid the bill, and we go out to the parking lot, and I was going to ask her, would you like to see me again? And she says to me, and again I quote, and I'm really not making this kind of stuff up, and you can't make this kind of shit up. She says, I have 2 more guys to check out before I make my decision. And of course, a meltdown came over me, and this was more like a Chernobyl meltdown. And I'm an hour and 20 minutes away from my apartment, and I really can't remember any part of the drive home. So I finally came to later on that evening, and this is when something profound came to me. This is what I came to share with you guys tonight. In 46 years of collecting data, I grew up with 4 sisters. And a lot of the data that I collected was with one of my ex-girlfriends who I lived with for 2.5 years. And at this point, I probably should stop and thank her for the volumes upon volumes of data that she has given me for my research. But my message to you is this: the grass can be greener on the other side. However, it's what's living within that grass that'll often make you ask yourself, why did I ever step into the yard? Thank you guys.
Steve Rock Cops, another name for Steve Yesconis, all right. we have nice country music in the background too. That's good. Theme music, which is nice. Oh, I did want to ask you, does anybody have like dogs in here? Have we any dog owners? Yeah. All right, that's good. Everybody's a dog owner. All right, I'm a dog owner too. I should clarify, I've got a Chihuahua. Now, does that still count? No? Yeah. Kind of? Just to real clarify, he's called a Chiweenie. It's a Chihuahua Dachshund mix. So, you were jealous before. I actually got him like at the very start several years ago because I thought he was going to help me pick up girls, because girls like guys and dogs. What I found out was girls like guys and dogs. Girls do not like guys whose dogs fit in their purse. It's not even attractive whatsoever, so just a little something to keep up here. We're gonna keep it going actually to the guy whose name's up here. He's been performing all over the place. He performs obviously at Maewyns a lot. His name's Asiel Ayala. Let's give him a big round of applause for him.